Hi, welcome back to yet another freshly brewed content in your channel, Know Your Industry. We have started our communication, media, and telecom journey in our last few videos. We have covered the overall industry, the nuances and the construct of the different domains. We were covering the key KPIs across the domains. In today's video, we are going to cover a very interesting topic. As you see here, we will be covering the difference between fourth generation long-term evolution network versus 5th generation network. All of you are more or less aware of this topic, but today we chose to look at this topic from the lens of 6 different parameters, and we would be looking at the difference across those 6 parameters precisely. So if you see, we will start off with speed, right? Speed, as we all know, for 4G LTE we have been using for the last few years. The speed used to range somewhere between 10 to 50 Mbps. The highest speed used to go towards in the range of 150 Mbps if it would have been very high speed internet. But whereas when 5G is getting rolled out in most of the markets, you must be experiencing much faster speed. The speed these days starts from around 200, 300 Mbps, and it has potential to go around almost to 1000 Mbps and more even, right? So that's the speed range that we are talking about in today's world in the 5G network. Latency, in the same way, latency has come down drastically. The average latency was about 50 milliseconds in our 4G network, and it refers to the delay before the transfer data begins following an instruction. That's what latency is. Whereas the latency has come down to 1 milliseconds from 50 milliseconds from 4G to 5G. That helps in applications in where we need real-time feedback and real-time response and things like that, which are autonomous vehicles, virtual reality, augmented reality, IoT devices, smart cities, and a lot of connected devices, sensors in smart cities, and so on and so forth, right? So these are the different applications where we need, or applications where we need latency to be much less, and that's where 5G is coming into importance. After speed and latency, we are now looking at the capacity, right? So if you see in 4G LTE, across 0.38 square miles network, 2000 devices were getting supported, right? Whereas in 5G, this 2000 devices has increased to leaps and bounds to about 1 million devices in 0.38 square mile area, right? So this massive increase in capacity is essential to accommodate the growing number of IoT devices, sensors, smart devices, etc. in any specific area, especially in large cities where the density of population is really high. Now, if you look at the bandwidth, so 4G utilizes frequencies which is mostly below 6 gigahertz, right? Which these days have become very congested bandwidth because most of the players across the world were using this bandwidth. The uniqueness in 5G network is it uses comparatively higher frequency, that is 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz, right? Apart from using the lower frequency bandwidth as well, which is say around 6-7 gigahertz and things like that. So this is the frequency range which was much lesser utilized or underutilized, and that's what 5G is using, and which is also helping increasing the transmission speed, the reducing the congestion, so on and so forth, right? So that's how bandwidth differs. Now, if you look at the network architecture, 4G LTE was primarily dependent on high power cell towers, right, to transmit signals over long distances, whereas the main difference in 5G is it's using small cell technology, right, which involves the installation of large number of smaller antennas in densely populated areas, right? This setup helps overcome the limitations of wave frequencies, which have a shorter range and have wave frequencies were of shorter range, and they also had this problem of interference from physical obstacles, right? So these were the problems of the 4G LTE network, which are now overcome with the help of the 5G network, which has this small cell technology. And hence, finally, in terms of the applications, so all the 4G LTE network is capable of providing network for HD TV on mobile, high quality video calls, higher download speeds compared to the earlier networks like 3G and 2G. But it still has limitations with very high demand applications, right? And real time response, especially for connected devices, in sensors and things like that, right? Where basically 5G has come in, it is providing ultra reliable communication, which is helping drive the expansion of autonomous driving, smart cities, machine remote control devices, extensive IoT networks, advanced industrial automation, so on and so forth, right? So these are some of the applications of 5G in today's world. So that's how we looked at the key differences in these two networks. We looked at the applications, we looked at the network architecture, the bandwidth, the capacity and the connectivity in terms of the density. We looked at how latency has changed from 4G to 5G and how the speed is different between these two networks, right? I hope you liked my video. In the upcoming videos, I'm trying to come up with more such interesting topics around media, communication and telecom in this series. If you're liking our videos, request you to kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you. We will meet in the next video.